Hello, slicey dicers, you slicey dicing sons of monkeys or daughters of monkeys. I hope there's some girls that watch this. I assume there are. Anyway, this is a review I met. I'm kind of rushing. I've only owned this knife for about 12 hours, but I owned another version of it, and I really wanted to rush it out. Why did I want to rush it? Because this is a Kershaw Dividend. What? Kershaw Dividend reviews are all over the place. They're everywhere. But this is not your average Kershaw Dividend. This is Kershaw Dividend in the almighty glorious M390. Aww. To which you may say, they're all gone. I looked for one. I didn't find one. I found one. Go to KershawGuy.com. They still have some. I just talked to them about 4 hours ago. They still had about 20 of them left. So if you're watching this, I'm going to put the link down below, KershawGuy.com. Go buy one right now. They're about 80 bucks. I'll wait a minute. All right, wow, you spent a lot of money in 3 seconds. That was pretty impressive. But you want one, trust me. The Dividend, I do have a lot of experience with. I did have one before. I bundled it in a trade for something else and let it go because I was going to get a different version of the Dividend. I loved the knife, but I was going to try a different one. And then I heard about this one, and it took me a day and a half, but I found one, so I got this one now instead of the one I was going to get. I'll say what that one was in a minute. I still might get the other one because it's pretty, but this is a knife that Kershaw designed kind of in a way to step on their own foot. The Leek is a fantastic knife. They sell a ton of those. This is based kind of with the same exact idea as the Leek. There are a lot of differences in it, but the main one is this is a much thinner handle. This is only like 0.3 inch thickness. It's really thin. Totally disappears in your pocket. Not that the Leek was like a tank or anything, but yeah, this is even thinner. Ergonomically, I think it's a little bit better than the Leek. It's got a Warncliffe blade, which is different. It's a hollow grind with a cool little swedge on there. I do like that. It is an assisted opener, which I'm not usually so hot on, but I kind of am with Kershaw's. I like the way they do it. I think they get the spring tension just right. We'll get into that more when we talk about the action on it, but I do like the Kershaw assists. This is a U.S. made knife. All the Dividends are U.S. made. It's not just special for this M390. They do have that cool backwards flag, which I think is neat. A lot of people ask, why is the flag backwards? That's a production error. It isn't. This is just something that they do because on a lot of military equipment they put the flag backwards, so that's why they do it. So I think that's pretty cool. Little knowledge there for you. I'm not the first person to release that knowledge by any means, but anyway, the more you know. The Dividend has always been a great knife. Like I said, they do make it in a lot of versions. The base one has FRN handles for about 35 bucks. They have an aluminum version for about 40 bucks, and the one that I was going to get until I heard of this one is a Damascus blade one, which is so pretty. And that one is $89 right now, so I may still get one of those just because it's so pretty and I like the Dividend so much. But anyway, the US made Kershaws, their quality is fantastic, and everything I'm going to say about this knife qualifies across the entire Dividend line. I have not played with the FRN one, but I'm sure it's just as good. But the aluminum handle ones, at least, I can testify. This is perfect blade centering out of the box. Can't complain about that. The assist, like I said before, I really like. All the screws are good. I tore my old Dividend apart several times. I'd put different stuff on it. I actually put even aftermarket screws on it, but the screws for this were the stock ones were really hard. They worked well. They went through several tear apart sessions and worked great. No deep carry pocket clip, but you can get one from Kershaw. They're super cool about it. If you just call up and ask for one, because they all use that same 2-bolt pattern, so they have them and they send them to you. I'd got one for my ZT that I sold a while ago, which is also, but ZT is, in case you don't know, ZT is Kershaw. Basically, they're both owned by Kai USA, so they use a lot of the same kind of geometry and stuff, a lot of the same parts. But anyway, let's get on to the full-on stats on this sucker. And this also, most of these stats apply across the whole Dividend line. I will specify when they do not. You're looking at an overall length of 7.25 inches. Again, these are all 1-inch blocks. Blade length of 3 inches. Blade thickness of 0.09 inches. This thing is thin. It is thin. It's a great slicer, does a lot of cool things. It is not a super heavy duty knife and is not intended to be. You don't expect something, if you just hold this in your hand, you can tell it's a quality piece, but you don't expect to be hacking at logs with this thing very much. It's great for carving, but I wouldn't be using it to split things. Like I said, there's black aluminum handles. The base one has the gray aluminum handles. All of these weigh as near as to not matter 3 ounces. All of the ones. It's like the FR one's like 2.85. This is like 2.95. The Damascus is like 3.06 or something like that. They're all as basically, let's just call them 3 ounces, just for the sake of arguments. They all weigh pretty much the same. All still with the same great build quality. All of them are right and left hand tip up only, which is fine. It's an assist. It's the best way to carry it anyway. They are flippers with a liner lock. Another quality thing. Look at that. The lockup on that is right about where I like it. Super easy to release. It's super smooth before it hits the spring. Very good job on the bushings here. Super smooth until it hits the spring, and when it does hit the spring, it's not that hard to close. The action on this, like I said, I love the US built Kershaw assist action. I really do. I have, like I said, the link that I showed earlier. I like that too. This is obviously a much heavier knife, but yeah, it's good. Let's do some size comparisons while I have this one out here. Let's start with the one that's in my hand. The link is obviously a lot bigger and a lot thicker. It's actually funny talking about the leak. I've played with a leak a little bit, but I've never actually owned one. When I went to go buy this, I asked. It was like at a shop. They were behind the counter, and I asked for a link, and they handed me a leak, and I said no. I said link, and they said that's what I gave you, and I said no, link. They just assumed I meant a leak because they sell so many of them. Not that they sell a crap ton of links too, but compare it to your Delica 4. Yeah, about the same length and pretty similar weights, but this is a lot thinner in your pocket, and in closed dimensions too is also a lot thinner. I think it's always felt that way. Yeah, a lot thinner in that dimension also. So there's that. And let's just do 2 more quick comparisons here. You got your this is the steel wheel mini cut jack. So yeah, this is a little longer, but more blade. And oh no, same blade length. I'm sorry, I'm misspeaking. Thinner. And Kaiser Vanguard Dukes. So do those comparisons. I just wanted to open the Kaiser again. It's so much fun to play with. If you guys haven't watched my review of that, kind of enamored with it. But I'm also very enamored with this. Ergonomics, I think it's pretty good. The obviously that thin handle, it is thin, but it feels pretty good in your hand. It's not bad. I mean, this isn't meant to be a heavy duty, beat on it all day long knife. You can. I mean, the M390, you can beat on that shit all you want, and it's not going to give up. M390 is an amazing steel. I'll talk more about that in the conclusion, I think, but it is really good in the hand and freaking awesome in the pocket. It's great. You don't even hardly know it's there. It's so thin. It's so thin, and like I said, it does barely fit into the 5th pocket of my jeans. That's how I carried it all day today, and how I usually carried my old Dividend. It fits awesome in that pocket. I really like it. But there's no jimping or anything on it. That I do wish it did have some jimping up there. That would feel good. Like this Warncliffe blade, I just imagine doing some really fine stuff with it, and it would be nice if there was a little jimping there. or a little dent or something to rest my finger on. That's really the only ergonomic flaw I have with it. The FRN one does, from what I've heard, like I said, I unfortunately have not played one, but they say the FRN one's a little better in your hand. If you're really picky about perfect ergonomics, that the FRN one does feel a bit better, but it's a bit thicker, so that would make sense. Let's do some cutting with this thing, because it's good. And I've been cutting on stuff with this all day, just because I wanted to play with it. Because whenever anything M390 gets in my hands, I'm excited. The edge out of this thing, right out of the box, is freaking ridiculous. Just ridiculous. So sharp. And it's M390, so it's going to hold up forever. M390 is known for very good blade retention. But it's good blade retention without actually being too hard to sharpen. It's not bad at all. And in this particular grind, that's going to be easy. When I do have to touch it up, that's going to be nothing. Good places to grab onto, good sharpening choil. That's going to be easy to work on. I'm not at all worried about that. And let's do some cardboard too. I've done some of this today too with it. It's good. Great slicer. Especially for this size of a knife. It's really good. Alright. So, what is my overall conclusion for this? I love the Dividend, obviously. I love the design. I'm not usually an assist guy, but I do like this one and a couple other the Kershaw built assist ones, the USA ones especially. Really good knife. And an M390, man. M390 is it's a freaking super steel. And it's $80 for this thing right now. 80 bucks. What am I going to do with this? I'm going to use the hell out of it. Some people may say, oh, you just who knows when they're going to make another one. You can't, they're going to be out probably in a couple of hours, after I post this video. You shouldn't use it. And I don't care. It's M390. You can beat on it. And it's an $80 knife. It's not super expensive. What am I going to do? Put it in my drawer for 3 years and have it be worth $100? No, I'm not going to do that. Kershaw is Kershaw. They make a lot of knives. Chevys don't appreciate very fast either, even the nice ones. So I'm going to use it, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, because this is a really cool knife and it's so super usable. M390 is virtually maintenance free. It doesn't corrode or anything like that. I don't have to put oil on it all the time like I do my M4 knives or nothing. It's going to get used. Not abused, because I don't abuse my knives at all. I'm a good boy, but yeah. Love this thing. Very happy that I got one. Hopefully you can too. That's why this is a service. I'm doing a service to let you know. KershawGuy.com. You can go get one. Seems like a cool guy with my brief email exchange. This is the first thing I bought from him. I ordered it on Tuesday. It was Thanksgiving on Thursday. I got it today. That's pretty damn good. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this public service that I've given you. Have a good one, everybody.